What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video of me, my old man, in a movie, and today we're going to be discussing Transformers 1. Before then, I'd like to read a brief synopsis of the film. The untold origin story of Optimus Prime and Megatron, better known as sworn enemies, were once friends, bonded like brothers, who changed the fate of Cybertron forever. I actually had a lot of fun with this movie. A lot more fun than I thought I was going to have with this
You're
movie.
laughing in parts of it. I'm like, man, he's really getting into this.
Yeah. I had way more fun than I thought I was gonna have. I came in with I've never seen any of the Transformers movies.
Yeah.
So this is the
Full
first
disclosure, I've seen I think I've seen a Bumblebee movie maybe, so I've seen a little bit. I grew up around them, as a kid, but I don't even know that I watched the cartoon that much as a kid. So there was a lot of things I didn't like. There were probably a lot of things in here that I missed. For sure.
Yeah, but yeah, I went in with pretty low expectations because I didn't really know what to think about this film. The trailers weren't amazing.
Yeah.
But I mean, it looked interesting enough. But yeah, I had a lot more fun than I thought I would have with this movie.
So, and we're seeing this at a
early screening.
Early screening. So it was really neat because it's the full. It was almost a full house, and you could tell there were a lot of fans.
Yeah.
In the audience.
Yeah.
There are a lot of moments where you could hear things and you're like, oh, I missed something. Something's going on. They connected with something. For sure. They clapped at the end. A lot of clapping at the end. I think there was a guy next to me. I mean, I said old guy. I'm the old man right here. But this guy was at least 10 years older than me, and he was all in. Like he's like nodding, and at the end he turns to his wife and he goes, I am Optimus Prime. 60-year-old man living in his glory.
Yeah.
It was so fun. So yeah, I think if you're a fan, this is the backstory, right? So I could appreciate it for that, for sure. It felt like, and I told you this as we were heading there, I thought it was going to be this way, and it still felt, this was like Wicked for Transformers, right? It's like the backstory. You're getting to see how the two main guys, kind of came together and started as friends and then became enemies. No spoiler on that, right?
Yeah, I mean, no spoiler.
You don't know that. You don't even need to bother with the movie, but yeah, it had all the makings. So I was appreciative of all that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was first take. Any other thoughts on it as we're heading in?
No, I think let's go.
All right. Acting
and characters. All the characters were fun. I liked all the characters, but Bumblebee was the standout character. He was so funny. He was easily the best character. He had so many great lines, and yeah, he was just hilarious.
Yeah, they gave him all the good stuff. I mean, there was no doubt. It was better than expected, I guess, on that front. I didn't, there's some animation, and we'll get into this a little bit. There's some animations with some really great writing out there. I didn't expect anything from this, so the bar was low. I think they raised it. It kept my interest. It really kept my interest in that. I dialed into the characters, so I gave it a. Now, what are we calling these? Are you good with the
Prime stickers?
Prime stickers. That comes up in the movie, so I'm giving it 7 Prime stickers.
I'll give it 8 Prime stickers.
All right. You liked it. Direction.
I thought the fighting scenes were very well shot. There were a lot of big scale scenes and big scale shots that I thought they did a really good job with.
Yeah.
There was a part where one of the main characters was falling through this lightning thing, and I thought that looked really cool. It was very centered up, and it was really well shot. I could tell what was going on during the fight scenes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought that was really cool.
The scene near the end where he's becoming Optimus Prime, I thought was phenomenal. The way they shot that. I don't want to say too much about how they did it, but and then I found out after. Again, I'm not a fan of all this, but I did know Michael Bay did the Transformers movies, and I didn't realize till the end when his name popped up that he had directed this. And so probably a lot of similarities to how he shot the live action stuff to this, if I went back and looked at it all.
Yeah.
So I thought that was neat that they had him do it. Probably not for those you are Transformers fans, you're like, duh. But again, for me, just coming into this, I was like, oh, that's a neat thing that they did with that. So got no complaints on it. I gave it a 7 Prime stickers.
I gave it a 9 Prime stickers. If you had no complaints with it, why'd you give it a 7?
I just think, look, it was good, but it's at the end of the day, it's an animation, and I've seen better animations. I feel like so.
I mean, yeah, whatever. I gave it a 9.
I mean, yeah, no, I'm sticking with a 7. I am not changing. All right, it's fine. Writing.
So I thought going into this movie when they were going to kind of be from friends to enemies.
Yeah.
I was wondering how they were going to be how they were going to do that. Is it going to feel pushed? Is it going to feel natural? And I felt like it felt natural. It didn't feel like they were trying too hard to make it flip like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought they did it well.
I gave it a 7 too. I almost gave this a 6 on writing.
Yeah, I gave it a 7
You know what?
too.
I'm giving it a 6. I'm taking it down to a 6. And let me just tell you, okay?
I gave it a 7.
I felt like there was some overtelling in parts of the plot, and I don't know if that's because hey, we want to bring the kids along. We realize this is probably going to be a family thing, so maybe we bring the kids along, and so we're going to tell parts of this. And so I felt like it was a little bit like overshare on some of the plot points. I thought, just full disclosure on that, there was some language in there that I didn't mind, but I'm thinking there's some young kids in here and jokes that went on with the language. I'm not gonna say it because it's a really funny part of the film.
Yeah.
But it kept repeating through the whole movie. And you're like, yeah, if I'm sensitive to that as a parent with my kids, this is gonna kind of be uncomfortable.
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
I don't know. And there were a couple other words that I'm like, why? Wasn't necessary. And again, given the mixed audience, I thought it was a little much. I think there were, again, I didn't get half of them, but I know there were several Easter eggs in there. So I give that a tip to the writing on that.
Yeah, you could tell there were by the way the audience reacted to certain parts.
Yeah.
That must be something.
Yeah, characters that would pop up, and you're like, oh yeah, this is iconic in the lore of the Transformers. So yeah, and some of the things that I didn't find funny that other people found funny, it was because they knew something I didn't know. So there was even some humor there. So all right, I'm gonna go with I'm back down to a 6. I'm gonna go with a 6.
I have a 7. So
all right. Cinematography, special effects.
This was great. I loved the color they used. The surface of the planet looked really cool. The way things kind of just built. It was great. All the transformations when they would transform into the cars and all this stuff, it looked really smooth. It looked really cool. It looked clean.
My favorite part watching this visually were the eyes of the Transformers. Just the way they moved and the depth to that, the color. I just watched their eyes the whole movie.
Yeah,
I was just so mesmerized by those. So I thought that was phenomenal. That's all I got. I mean, everything else you mentioned, some of the animation, you mentioned it all. 7.
I give it a 10.
Well, see, I'll tell you what. I'll give it an 8 for the eyes alone.
All right, whatever.
That'll balance out my 6.
10.
All right,
perfect. That was great.
There we go. Prime stickers. Music and sound.
They turned the Transformers, the old theme song for the Transformers into and they turned that into a cinematic. It felt more cinematic, some of the audio is more cinematic. They did that with the Mario movie. I thought they did a really good job with that.
Yeah,
they did a good job with this one too.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I think that was good. I said they had that the anthem song was used in there. The chase scene, there was some chase. I said chase scene. It was the ending scene, but there was this. There was kind of this falling effect to the music. It kind of chased itself down. I don't even know how to do it, but musically, it was just a really neat touch in that particular scene. And maybe it went with the scene. Not only thinking about the scene, so visually it matched. It was great. It was great. 7.
I gave it a 9.
I know I said great, and then I gave it a 7. 7's good. 7's strong. So overall, I got 7 prime stickers. I mean, I went 7s down the line, except the 6 and an 8. I moved off a little bit.
Yeah. All right. I got 8.6. My overall rating.
6 prime stickers.
Prime stickers. Yep.
This is yes, I'm cold, not yes, I'm old. Just old man. You're my old man.
But he is old.
I'm old and I'm cold. All right. So, recommend?
Absolutely. I say I recommend.
Yeah?
Recommend for the whole family.
I think if you're a fan of Transformers, no brainer. Go. If you're not a fan and you're just looking for a family film, maybe. If you're mindful of the language, maybe not. if you just, I don't know, if you're an adult that cares less about Transformers, I wouldn't waste my time with it. Because I don't think it stands on its own. I mean, I enjoyed it, but I wouldn't have went and saw that outside of doing this podcast and you forcing me to the theater today after we'd already watched Beetlejuice for the second time.
Yeah.
We got home and then he said, let's go back. We're going back for another one. So we came back to do this episode for you. So here we are. All right. Good?
Yep.
Got any spoilers?
I mean, I don't really have any spoilers I didn't really say.
I got one funny thing I'll say, so that it's not really a spoiler. So we'll just put it in here, okay, at the end.
All
right. So there were kids in this theater that were driving me nuts. They're like, talking the whole time. Yeah. Some girl stomped up the staircase middle through the movie. Then they got this scene where they're in a tunnel and their lights are on, and this lady turns her light on, and she's like flashing around the theater. I'm like, is this like a 4D experience? Like, what's going on? Like, it was the weirdest timing of that. I don't her light was on while the Transformers lights were on. We were just laughing so hard at that, man.
Funny,
yeah. All right, that's all I had.
That's it.
Okay.
If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure you give us a like, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and join us next time as we discuss the latest and hopefully greatest Hollywood has to offer.